there! You're watching the Jenny Emily channel, and I'm Jennifer Kirk, and with me we've got Zoe Kirk Robinson. Say hi, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
You may recognise this person as being the heavy breather behind the camera, aka Darth Vader on some of my other videos.
What can I say? I do apologise. I had a cold on some of her videos and I wasn't the person behind the camera, so you got the sound.
I am your father.
I want a paternity test. But yes, I am also known as Knob Mouse on YouTube, so you can have a look at my channel if you want as well, where Jennifer is actually in one of the films I made, so...
Oh yeah, the locket.
And she will be in some other ones when we produce them later on. But what we're here for, basically, Jennifer, do you want to talk that through?
We're going to talk today about something called multiple universe theory.
Okay, we're both science fiction authors, and we decided that this series would be us having a conversation that you're welcome to submit topics for on various pieces of science and taking it from the point of view of science fiction authors. Today we're talking about multiple universe theory, which is the theory that this universe that we're in is only one of thousands, potentially an infinite number of different universes that are all slightly different to each other. For example, if you had one decision and you made a decision on it, then every other decision you could have made would appear in other universes. So you'd have taken, maybe you had two roads to go down. You went left, but in the other one you went right, and things like that. That's multiple universe theory, pretty much in a nutshell.
I thought the other theory is it's about computers, really, is what's brought it up. Is if you can simulate a reality in a computer, basically like Matrix style, then at what point does that become an alternative universe? And how do we know we're not already in the Matrix, as it were?
Now, funny enough, there is a theory about this, the simulated reality theory, which suggests that if you can create a reality that is so perfect a representation of the universe that the person within it cannot tell that they are within a simulated reality, then the potential is that intelligent life could naturally evolve within that reality. And if it does, potentially they can create another simulated reality of their own inside their simulated reality. So you get nested realities. And the problem with that is that when you have this situation where this is possible, the idea that we are actually within one of those simulated realities quickly becomes an almost certainty. So we're having to run tests at the moment to detect whether we are in fact actually computer simulations and we didn't know about it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, once you thought, yes, we could do this and then they could do this, it does lead to the question of, well, what if we're already in one?
Yeah.
Which I suppose is kind of where the root core idea of the Matrix film comes from, in a way.
I think it does actually, now you mention it, yes. But here's the weirdest thing. I remember when this topic came up, someone pointed out, at what point does the simulation break down? Well, if you look too close, is it obvious that you're in a simulation? Is that how you detect it? And then someone else said, well, you know, quantum theory doesn't quite work compared to classical mechanics when you really get down close. And when you look at atoms and you get really close to them, and you look at subatomic atoms, and then you look really close to them, you find that there's nothing you can see inside. Does that mean that there's actually nothing there, and that's the limit of the simulation? Is that how far down we can go before it's obvious?
So what they're saying, that at some point, if you look too closely at science, everything is just composed of magic.
I think, well, the idea, and I don't know if I subscribe to it or not, but it is a very interesting idea for a topic of a science fiction novel, is what if you look too close and you actually find that you can see the code that your universe is built on.
So, hey, we got an electron microscope and took a good look, and it turns out there's nothing in there.
That would just be weird, wouldn't it? Oh, hang on, we actually did find something there, but it wasn't there before because it hadn't resed yet, because the download rate for the new information that the scientists outside were hurriedly typing in, it hadn't quite got there.
Yeah, maybe it just says, level 1 complete, please wait, level 2 loading.
No, that would be just so weird. But as a topic for a story goes, it's a very interesting one, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we're starting to sound a bit like René Descartes here, talking about how do I know that anything outside my own thoughts exists. But then again,
solipsism.
yeah, but then again, he was French, so he had no mates, so there wasn't really much outside his own little personal world anyway to
You
enjoy.
can't say that. You can't say that he was French, so he had no mates.
Sorry, it's a Red Dwarf quote. You know, they did it first.
My goodness.
This is what happens when you lubricate a conversation with beer.
Well, we thought, we're having a nice conversation, there's a fire next to us, why not have a drink as well?
Yeah.
It keeps the conversation flowing. If you were in a simulated reality and you didn't know, and then you found evidence of that simulated reality, what would be your reaction?
You'd double check, wouldn't you?
Well, yes, of course you do. But what if it turned out that actually you were right, it is a simulated reality, and everything that you've believed is real is just data?
Well, I don't know, because I think the problem is that when you thought you might have proof, somebody would always pick holes in it and go, no, it can't be right, you must have missed something. Basically, try looking harder. I don't think anybody would really, truly believe it.
It's quite possible that they wouldn't, but I'm looking at it from the point of view of, well, what's changed in my life? Now that I know what the universe is, does that make it any less real for me as part of this universe that is just data?
So
If I'm just a computer simulation, and you're just a computer simulation, and the entire world is just a computer simulation, then surely it's no less real for me now as it was before.
Because I suppose you'd have no real way of transferring between the realities.
Well, I don't know. Actually, if there was a computer simulation, it would technically be easier to go from one universe to another.
Yeah, but it isn't necessarily a computer simulation, because that's a construct of us, a computer. So that's like our way of representing. So I'm talking shite now, aren't I?
No, actually, you've got a very good point. The book Diaspora by Greg Egan has a biological computer in it. It's a world with a massive lake on it, full of chemicals that have, through various chemical processes, generated a biological computer. And every single chemical reaction that goes on is another iteration of a program running on that computer. And inside that program are life forms, which aren't aware that they're in a computer. They just exist and interact with one another and breed and reproduce and all that, as if they were biological animals. They just happen to be a biological computer representation. That is a simulated reality.
I mean, also you could argue that, organic computers, what do you think you've got in there?
That's very true. That is.
I mean, at the end of the day, you think, what's running you? You're sat there looking at the screen, stuck to the screen. Help, I'm glued to the screen. And basically, inside your head, something's running all that, isn't it?
That's true. It is a biological computer.
Yeah.
So just your imagination, if you were able to imagine something so perfectly, would that count as a simulated universe?
I don't know. Have you ever done lucid dreaming?
I have.
It's good, isn't it?
It's a very interesting idea, but
it's great when you actually, in your dream, when you're asleep, you twig that you're actually in a dream and you can control it. I've had that a couple of times. That's really good.
I haven't done that for years.
And do you know what you normally end up doing? You normally end up just looking around and going, wow. Is what I actually end up doing when I'm in a lucid dream that I know I'm dreaming. It's really quite peculiar. You'd have thought it'd be like, I'll be a rock star. I'll go out with Johnny Depp. And you're there going, no, I'll look at the trees.
Wow. So in your lucid dream, you spent your time tripping.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, kids, don't do this at home. But no, I mean, it's an argument to say, is your dream actually an alternative universe in effect that's being simulated by you in this reality?
For a temporary period, I suppose it might be.
Yeah. So effectively, everybody has their own little universe in their head, and that's why we all daydream. We just go and visit the alternative universe.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
As topics go, that's an oddity, and perhaps a debate for another time.
I suppose, yeah. Anyway, you've been watching a couple of science fiction authors tripping out on beer and goodness, and just generally just shooting the breeze with some topic of scientific merit. I'm Jenny Kirk. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Oh yeah, down there. And don't forget to like this video and share it too, and look back through both my channel, which has lots of excellent videos, and also Zoe's channel as well, which has some stuff you might be interested in.
And a film that she's in, so you'll
I
enjoy
am
that.
as well, actually, yeah.
From our point of view, I would say if you have an idea for a topic that you'd like us to discuss, then please do leave it in the comments section below. And if you want, you could even leave it as a video response, so we'll feature you on the next episode.
Yeah, and also, until next time, don't forget to buy my books. They are great. And you take very good care of yourself. This is me, Jenny Kirk, saying bye for now.
Bye-bye.